Hello, everyone. This is Ed from Old Dad's Modeling Mess, and I figured I'd do a quick little video on the stuff that I use uh, normally when I build models. Of course, as always, go to hobby knife, extra blades, stuff like that. Um, my Tamiya extra thin cement. Uh, I use thin, thick super glue with the Instaset. Uh, the spray part is broken, so I just unscrew it and dab it on there with the end of the thing. Weld on 3, this stuff is amazing. It does everything Tamiya does, except for one thing. You can't mix Tamiya putty with it. So, like if you're wanting to do armor texture and stuff like that, I'll put a little dab of Tamiya putty on a old disc here. I'll put some on there, and then I'll take my brush, dip it in Tamiya, get it on there, and then I'll splotch that all over the tank to give it the armor texture. Can't do that with the weld on. But what you can do with the weld on that you can't do with the Tamiya is you can glue clear metal parts without it fogging up. It's amazing for that. This is basically the stuff that they use for plumbing. I I watch Scale Model Geek and a few of those channels like that, and that's where I learned that at. I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. Don't have to use white glue or any of that. Use that, sets instant just like Tamiya does. Perfect. Um, Wiring, I use different sizes, stuff like that. Uh, you know, that way there I can make, if I want to, I can make the handles for the tanks and stuff like that. I got those there. Um, Actually, I'll show you something here real quick if you guys don't mind. Take this here. And another very, very useful thing is this for your photo etching. This thing here works amazing for bending stuff. I used to use this little thing here. This is, if you can see it, if the very end of it here, this first step is 1 millimeter, then it goes up to 2, 3, 4, and 5. I used to use this to make the handles with because it's 3 millimeters thick. So it worked out really good for that. But then I did this one day, just messing around. Didn't even realize that I had all that already, and I didn't need to do that. Because all I got to do is take this here, boom, snip it here, snip it here, leave it a little long so it goes through the model, and now you have a, well, hope you guys can see it. You got a perfect little handle for your turret. So, size for your photo etching stuff, it's got different sizes on it. Yeah, you can make just about anything you want with it when it comes to handles and stuff like that. So, must have. One of the best things I've ever bought. This little thing here, like I said, I made that a long time ago. I have a laser cutter engraver thingy, and of course, as everybody knows, have you ever had that model where in the hull you got to put that, you got to glue that piece 90 degrees up? Well, I made me some little speed squares just for that, and conveniently that fits in most holes. And now you can just hold stuff up straight up and down 90 degrees, boom, done. And you can clamp stuff to it, so that part that you're gluing, use your little clamp, boom, done. Let your stuff set, you're good to go. Made these. This one here's 1/3 of an inch thick, and then 2 inches by 3 inches. This one here's 1/4 inch thick, 1 inch by 2 inch. And then of course, this is actually a real speed square, but it's got set up where you can do that too. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. One of the best things I ever came up with. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm sure other people have done it, but I thought of that on my own. I was like, hey, I need that. Duh. Okay. And I did it. Nippers, of course, as you know. Little drill. Got to have that. Hate it when you got to drill out the holes and stuff like that, but these are so worth it. That and all the extra little drill bits. Very, very handy. I don't have a scribe, but I do have the chisel here. And I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that thing is razor thin. Okay, I can scribe panel lines with that if you're careful. So works great. Chisel, I use it as scribe too. Works great. Little dental things. This is mainly more for my when I'm doing my diorama stuff and working with foam. But these little dental things, tools, whatever you want to call them, they come in really, really, really handy. They got different sizes, different shapes, stuff like that. When you're going to do stuff, you need to whatever. Got to hold that part down that's in that little bitty corner way back there in the back, and you can't fit your fat finger in there. These work great for that. Files. Yeah, I've got a buttload of files. This one here, I doubt very seriously you can see it, but it's grooved on the sides, so it's thin. So all the way around it, it's filed. That one there. This one, I use this one the most because it's, well, more as a finishing one. That's why I use it the most. But it works great. It works really, really good. And then this monster here, as silly as it is, this thing here eats through those little parts that are left on the sprues, or from the sprues that are left on the parts, eats right through them. I'll hit them with this here. If the parts that piece is too big, then I'll use the flat one, and then I follow it up with the finer one there, the triangular shaped one. Works great for that. And of course I've got my sanding sticks and all that, which are a must. This one here, my wife looked at me funny and was kind of laughing because I'm like, hey, take me to the nail section, because they got these here: even out, smooth nail, fine grit, buff nail, coarse grit. I mean, yeah, they work good for doing that stuff. It's completely awesome. Pencils, I don't use pens, but I do use markers. I got a silver, just regular silver Sharpie here, nothing special about it. That way there, if I need to mark something or whatever and it's on a dark model, I've got it. Those don't mix too well with like the lighter colored or the white models. This Sharpie here, this one, normal Sharpie, except on one end it's got the fine point on it, so that's good if you want a precise mark with it. Then other than that, on the other end here like this, it's just a normal Sharpie. Those work great for that. Caliper, yeah. If you want to get really, really super precise and all that, one of these here is good. I don't really do it for that. I normally use it to like measure in between the holes for the handles on the tank holes and stuff like that. Sometimes trying to hold one of those little pieces, plastic pieces, and then you're trying to get it and mark it with a marker so you can do all that stuff onto the wire so you can bend it and get that metal handle in there and everything. It's just easier to measure with that, so I use that. Clamps, these things are another must. My wife looks at me all the time every time we go somewhere and I find a bag of those, I buy them. These little things here, I can't remember where I got these at. This is just like a cheap $5 set, I think. It came with some bigger ones and some bigger ones of those, but I actually use that in the one of the builds coming up here that you guys will get to see. Can't remember if I did my tweezers or not, but I got two types of tweezers. These here work great. These here, I love these because you let go of them and they just close, so you ain't got to sit there and keep them squeezed and you're sitting there. Yeah, no, you don't got to struggle with these. They just hold it for you. Then you just got to make sure that you're not shaking too much that you mess it up. Excuse me. Of course, we got Tamiya putty. That stuff works great. I've got tape. I actually, for $5, to me, this is not worth it. I'd rather just go spend $3 at Walmart and buy painter's tape, and then if I need to trim it down, I can. I've had this roll, as you can see. It's got some dips. Yeah, I've had this for a couple of years now. It's nothing super special, but it worked until I realized that I could just go buy this stuff here a lot cheaper. My little saw. Yeah, this is basically it. I have a 3D printer, so I do some 3D printing on stuff like that, and when I do that, I come up with stuff like this here, stowage. I don't know if you guys can really see that well, but this is a bedroll, okay? And look at the detail on that, on the end of that there. You can see every fold, and it's like that on both sides. I mean, yeah, when I learned about 3D printers, and I'm still a very, very, very novice at 3D printing. It takes me 20 minutes, and I can print up as many of these that I can fit on a 10-inch build plate, which is probably about 100 at this size. I mean, hell, it'd take that long just to mix up the Tamiya putty good, you know, so you can roll it out with the flour and stuff, get it all smooth, and then you got to fold it up and roll it up and do all that fancy dandy stuff. I'll just 3D print it with the detail like that. Here's some more 3D printed stuff that I've done. A couple of just generic jerry cans here, and then some little brackets. You can use them on your tanks for, like, if you're missing a fender or something, or if you purposely remove a fender and it had that part that was molded to it, you can just put that right on it. Here I printed up some tank tracks. Those were a test for my Sherman that I'm working on, and it was nothing wrong with it. It worked. The tracks worked out great. They were just the wrong size. But this is what they looked like. I mean, yeah, they're amazing. And then going back to the jerry can there, I know that it's just a generic jerry can, but if you look at it, and then of course you pop off those little things there. I don't know if you can see it that well, but you can actually see the detailed writing and stuff on it there. Okay. And then look at the gap in there for the handle, all that. Compare that to what's put in the kit. Yeah. I know that you got to glue the thing on there and then the cover and all that, or you can just 3D print it and be done. Again, just more stuff that I tinker around with. So, I don't know if this helps anybody or if it's, you know, don't take it as showing off. This is just what I normally use. And last but not least, baby wipes. absolute must. Those there are probably just as important as having a razor knife and glue. That way there you can clean up messes with them. If you're using paints like this here, you know, acrylic paints and stuff like that, you can wipe your brushes off, all that good stuff. They works great. So if you guys enjoyed this, thank you. Like and subscribe. You guys rock. See ya.